Do you think that these animals are being oppressed, like these species of animals who are being raised just for the purpose of, like, you know, what can come out of their bodies or what their flesh can be turned into? Hello.
What is this?
So here we're showing standard practices from the meat, egg, and dairy industries and other industries that abuse and kill animals, like the like animal testing stuff, and like this includes the free range, cage free, and all that other kind of like humane certified, all that stuff.
Well, what's with the mask?
So the mask is just to draw your attention to the screen.
Oh, okay.
Because we're trying to draw attention to the animals, not the person behind the mask.
I gotcha.
Have you ever seen any footage like that before?
We have. There's a whole Netflix documentation on, you know, what happens in slaughterhouses and eggs and bacteria and how really bad it is.
So just so we're clear, here we're focusing on the idea of using animals. So the message that we want to convey to people is that use is abuse. So we're rejecting this idea that there's a way to kill an animal that's humane and that is dignified and justified. Because if that animal doesn't want to die, then killing them can't be benevolent. It can't be an act of compassion.
Sure. Well, I wish you the best of luck on your campaign.
What do you think you'll do, though?
We're vegans.
Oh, you're vegans?
Yeah.
No sh.
Yeah.
Okay, right on.
That's why I was like, oh.
Okay.
Like she showed.
Oh, you got me there, undercover.
Yeah, the McDonald's documentary and everything else.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, listen, best of luck to you, man.
Yeah, thank you. And if you're vegan, ways that you can support this group, obviously you can donate to the group, but other than that, you can speak up for animals. You can also join us on the streets. So this organization is present in a lot of different cities. So if you're here in Chicago, you can come out and join us too.
Sure.
So we're trying to get people active, because being vegan is just a passive kind of proposition, right? Because it's like you're not supporting those industries, but when you start speaking up, then you start becoming a counterforce against that tide.
Sure. Well, definitely keep it going, man. All the best of luck to you.
Thank you, appreciate it. Have a good one. Have you seen any footage like that before? You just watched it? You just watched it for the first time? Yeah? What do you think about it?
I'm turning vegetarian over the time.
Mm-hmm. And what's your reason for doing that, for wanting to do that?
It just doesn't make sense to me. In fact, I'm going beyond this and start learning if I can live out of things that nature creates without hurting another one in the process of creation.
Yeah. You don't want to hurt. You don't want to hurt another member of creation if
even
you can.
Trees, we don't know much.
Even what?
On trees, should we cut
trees
even? We don't know.
Well,
we're assuming.
Sure, but if you eat animals, you have to feed them something, right?
Right.
So we're up feeding them plants, so it doesn't make sense.
Right.
How do you feel about animals? So you said we shouldn't have to take a life, right? If we don't have to.
It's much bigger.
Yeah. What do you know about the dairy industry?
Nothing.
So in the dairy industry, you know, the cow has to become impregnated, but she's not choosing to get.
All the time pregnant.
They have to get them pregnant over and over again, yeah, so that they can keep producing milk. Do you think that's wrong? And that's in the egg industry. That's showing the chicks. The male chicks, since they don't lay eggs, they just get discarded. So that's day-old chicks, and they're just getting swept into a grinder. They're just getting blended up alive. Is it the first cut that kills them? The second one? Which one? You know, when do they stop feeling that pain?
That I didn't know.
Sorry?
This one I didn't know.
Yeah, because male chicks don't lay eggs, right? Do you hate what you see here? Does it make you angry? Yeah? Does it make you angry enough to go vegan?
To do what?
To go vegan? Does it make you angry?
I'm going to go anyway.
You're going to go vegan?
Yeah, I am already in the process.
When you go vegetarian, you don't address the issue of the injustice. Vegetarian takes away flesh, but it doesn't get to the heart. Yeah, so fish are animals, right? Fish feel pain, fish suffer just like any other animal does. But since we can't hear them, people like to just ignore their suffering.
What is that one that we see now?
So I think what you saw there is when they're removing the beaks off of chickens. So because chickens, they go crazy when they're crammed into these areas. So what these factories do is they cut off their beaks ahead of time so that they're not able to hurt each other. They're trying to protect their merchandise, basically, because these animals are just considered property to these industries. So you think you'll go vegan?
Most likely.
Yeah, well, let me give you a card. This has some more information about it. I'd recommend the first link, The Best Speech You'll Ever Hear. That one really gets to the heart of the injustice. Because if you think that this is an injustice, then you'll see what I mean in that. Because it really gets to the issue of this is speciesism, right? We're treating these animals differently because of different sizes, shapes, and colors. That's all it is. And they are not human, but that's not any reason to do any of these things to them, to just treat them like a piece of, like a commodity.
I'm very glad you guys are doing this. It's very good.
I mean, it's very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
very
Yeah,
much.
thank
I
you.
really
Appreciate you stopping by. Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you. Hello. Do you know what you're seeing on the screens there? Do you know what you're seeing on the screens there?
Yeah.
How do you feel about what you see?
Very bad.
It's bad, yeah. So these are standard practices. They're not like selected abuses. These are just like standard practices for meat, eggs, and dairy, and other industries that abuse animals, including like animal testing. Have you ever heard of the word vegan? No? So a vegan is somebody who is against,
Okay.
So when you're vegan, you're against animal cruelty and exploitation as much as possible and practicable. Have you ever considered going vegan?
Well, we try to don't eat meat in week. Probably week.
So what we want people to understand is that this is something that once you understand what it is, you don't ever want to contribute to it again. So it doesn't matter if, like, you know, nothing else can force you to do that, basically, once you realize that, like, that's wrong, right? It doesn't matter, like, if you, like, cheat on your diet, right? Cheating on your diet takes on a new meaning then. Like, then you might go and eat vegan donuts, right? But once you, like, decide, wow, this is an injustice, I hate this, I don't want to contribute to this anymore, then you go vegan and you never go back. And then the awesome thing is that you can say that you care about animals and you can really mean it, because these are, of course, animals, right? But when people think about animal abuse, what do they think about? Dogs and cats, right? Would you guys be willing to watch a documentary like this? So there's some more information on that card. I'd really recommend the link to The Best Speech You'll Ever Hear, that one, to just type that in on YouTube. And yeah, and we want people to know that if they're still contributing to this, then they are still contributing to animal abuse. So if you take your time to go vegan, during that time, there still will be animals that are going to be killed based on your contributions as part of that.
Thank you for your work.
Yeah, thank you guys for stopping. Appreciate it. Have a good day. Hello. Would you like some more information about this demonstration?
What is it? It's about animals and factory farming and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. So we're showing standard practices from the meat, egg, and dairy industries and other industries that abuse and kill animals, including like animal testing. And this includes standard practices in industries that are labeled as free range, humane, certified, etc.
Okay.
How do you guys feel about animal abuse? Like, do you passionately dislike what you see on those screens?
Yes,
do you think it's an injustice?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff, they're grazed and all that stuff, that's crap. It's just a label on a package, you know?
Yeah, so
That's all.
what we really take issue with is the idea of raising somebody just to exploit them for what they can produce from their body, basically. So do you think that these animals are being oppressed, like these species of animals who are being raised just for the purpose of, like, you know, what can come out of their bodies or what their flesh can be turned into? Yeah, it's horrible. So those are male chicks, since they won't lay eggs.
Yeah. They use them for cat food, dog food.
So you seem to know a lot of this, and you've seen this footage. Now that you've become more aware, what do you think you'll do?
I don't know. I have to think about it.
Yeah?
Have a good one.
Well, would you like some more information before you go?
No, we're okay. We're leaving
I'll give you a card
tomorrow.
then.
All right,
Okay, I appreciate it. All right, have you seen any footage like this before? Yeah. How do you feel when you see it? It is crazy, yeah. Do you think that, like, avoiding this is something that's extreme, or do you think that, like, if we have like compassion and a kind heart and we don't want to see animals suffer, that being vegan is just a logical thing to do. Yeah, you think so? Yeah. Yeah, I am vegan. Everybody here is wearing black and who has the masks is also vegan. So when you're paying for things like meat, eggs, and dairy, what you're doing is you're putting money into a system where people are going to keep killing those animals because people keep paying for it. But if we stop paying for it, then two things happen. One, our money no longer goes to support those things that are happening. So those animals are no longer going to be killed for us. We're no longer adding to that demand. And the second thing is we can say that we love animals and we can actually mean it, right? We can say it without being a hypocrite. So what do you guys think? Do you think you guys will go vegan?
I don't eat them.
I tried, but I don't know where to get vegan food.
If you've ever eaten an apple, you've eaten vegan food, or a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Anything that doesn't have animal products in it and that's not tested on animals is vegan in terms of like food stuff, right? So like, yeah, it can be a little bit difficult at first to find like a couple things. Takes you maybe a couple weeks to figure out like, oh, this is the vegan version. Oh, that's the vegan version. You can also ask people. You can use an app called Happy Cow, or like there's another app that helps you know if things are vegan when you scan them. Happy Cow will help you to find vegan restaurants also. But it's a really awesome thing to do because, again, you don't want to know that you're supporting that, right? We're trying to get people to focus on this injustice. Like, do you think that that's something that we should take really seriously? Like what's happening to those animals? Is that something that like is worth being really against? You're turning vegan? Yeah? All right, well, let me give you a card. This will help you on your way. That has, so that has a link to, I'll go get you another card. I'll be right back. But yeah, that has, I'll get you one in a second, but yeah, that has some information, including a link to vegan22.com, and that's a challenge through Facebook where you'll get support for 22 days on going vegan. But let me get you a card too, okay? Here's a card for you.